The BMW M2 has always been a favorite among car enthusiasts, and with the new model for 2023, well, it's sure to impress. Hey, welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now, this second generation M2 has a redesigned exterior, more performance, and well, for 2023, M2 has definitely set the bar. One of the first things people will notice for 2023 is the more aggressive look. It has a more muscular stance, sharper lines, and a redesigned front grille. The front grille is larger, giving the car a more imposing presence on the road. The new LED headlights and taillights are sleek and modern, adding to the car's overall aesthetic. The expressive styling of the new BMW M2 is a clear indication of its mission to deliver sporty driving pleasure and stems from its powerful proportions within its compact designs. Customers can also order the M2 with an optional carbon roof. That's going to reduce the overall weight, lower the center of gravity, and add to the handling agility. This second generation M2 also has grown compared to its predecessor, getting longer by about 4.1 inches, wider by 1.3, and getting lower to the ground by about 0.3 inches, giving ground clearance around about 4.8. As for the true numbers, what you're looking at is around about 180 inches long, 74 inches wide, and 55 inches tall. The 108.1-inch wheelbase of the new BMW M2 is a critical factor in its agility. It is 4.3 inches shorter than that of the BMW M4, but 2.1 inches longer than the previous M2. That benefits both legroom in the front and the rear. As for track widths, they've increased by 1.5 inches or 63.7 inches in the front, and by 0.16 inches in the rear, taking it to 63.2. Of course, what really sets apart the M2 for 2023 is its increased power under the hood. What's there? The M twin-powered turboed 3.0-liter inline six-cylinder. It delivers 453 horses, up 48 from the previous generation, and 406 foot-pounds of torque. Also, the engine is coupled either with a 6-speed manual transmission as tested, or the quick-shifting 8-speed automatic. All the numbers really add up when you're behind the wheel, making it a joy to drive with precise handling and excellent cornering ability. The car suspension is tuned for performance, but it still provides a comfortable ride even on rough roads. And with a top speed of 155 miles per hour or 177 with the optional M-Driver package, the BMW M2 is not only quick, but also capable of delivering exhilarating driving experiences. As for the numbers, 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds for the manual or 3.9 seconds for the automatic. At the four corners, you have differences in the front versus the rear, specifically 275 35s wrapping a 19-inch wheel. At the backside, 285 30s wrapping a 20-inch. Inside the 2023 BMW M2 is just as impressive. The seats are comfortable and supportive with plenty of room for even taller drivers. The dashboard and center console are cleanly designed with a large touchscreen display that provides access to all the car's features. Climbing inside, one of the first things you'll notice really is the all-digital displays from the gauge cluster over to the infotainment system, really wrapping the dash. Now, where it starts is over here. First off, with the swipe left to get to various screens, you'll see it kind of divided in this angular approach. Once you tap on it, of course, it'll go full screen. This being the Apple CarPlay, really setting off the tone. And look just how wide it is. Down below, you do have some shortcut glances with the temperature selections up front. You can go full screen with the climate settings. I like this, very dynamic, especially over here with the balance when it comes to the various venting selections. You can change to dynamic, which is really going to let the air out, or of course balance up and down with the controls. Now, this is digital. If you're used to the old standard knobs, not going to find them here. Once you get used to it, not a big deal. Once you click it again, goes back to the screen you were on. Now, again, as you swipe over to the home, again, you can swipe back and forth, find lots of integrated information, whether it be the vehicle itself, even right down to the weather, and of course, getting into the M2 settings when it comes to sport mode. As you know, I test out 0 to 60, but other than that, I don't go track mode or really get this thing above the speed limit. But if you do like that sport enthusiast side of this vehicle, you do have nice shortcuts to M1 and M2 settings. this vehicle having the 6-speed manuals for that clutch stance that really adds to the overall appeal of this vehicle this week. Now, if you want to dive in a little bit deeper, this particular mode here really gets into the oil pressure, other settings. That's not what you need for getting into sport. Instead, you're going to swipe all the way across to the shortcut, which is this one over here. Once you get up, you'll notice that you have setup, configuration M1, configuration M2. Right now, I'm just in the setup, but let's go to configuration M1. That's going to be, of course, specific to that setting there on the steering wheel. You can select, whichever one you want, Sport, Sport Plus. Let's go to Sport. Gear assist on or off, chassis comfort, that's what I prefer, and as you can tell, that's pretty much the default here for M1. What I do like is you can set this up to have the auto on, auto off for the start, because as you can tell, this vehicle is running right now, but it is in the off mode, that engine being quiet, M sound on or off, as you see. But as you can tell, you can go over here to configuration 2. This will allow you to have it totally set up different at the press of a button, and that again allows this vehicle to have multi personalities at the press of a button. I mentioned the carbon fiber option for the roof, but you do have the styling here in the center cluster as a memory if you do get that. This one particularly had the glass across the top, really giving us an open air feel. Now, what this does, once you press it, reveals the comfort side of this vehicle. Yes, it's not all about sport. Dual cup holders. This protrudes just a little bit, so your taller drinks may lean just a hair. Not a big deal. Now, I did think this little area was a wireless charging, actually too small just there for some loose items. As you sweep to the middle, this of course is the central control knob. As you can tell, I was using the touchscreen, really not barely an arm stretch away. So if you prefer, definitely use this. Lots of shortcuts, which is a lot more user friendly to interact with these versus going through the home screen and whatever. Over here on the left, some other shortcuts, turning the parking sensor off and that auto start, auto stop feature here as well. Down below, you have the setup modes, M mode, and that muffler noise as well as the electronic parking brake on and off. One nice feature I like about this particular screen is it really tells you actually what's going on with the vehicle. As you can tell, my headlights are actually on, and if I could manually turn those off, you'll see that they'll actually go off right there. The daytime running light's still on, so let me turn those back on. Then if you actually turn the turn signal on, well, boom, there it is. You turn it on the other side, you can see it blink. It's actually just kind of a cool visual to let you know that the various operations are working. If you dive in a little bit deeper, this again gives you various things like engine oil, check controls, all that. And if you want to go to various vehicle apps, this is a nice shortcut to house that under one screen. For 2023, the BMW M2 is an impressive vehicle with both performance and its overall styling. With its updated exterior, refined interior, and of course that increase in power under the hood, well, the M2 is definitely here to satisfy. Now, as always, thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. Keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.